When most people hear The Flash, they think, nice guy, fast runner, kinda goofy, definitely not the type to commit mass reality homicide. He's the dude with the lightning bolt suit who zips around, saves civilians, and drops awkward one-liners mid-rescue. But what if I told you that this cheerful, kind-hearted man might be the most terrifying superhero ever written?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Not because he's evil or vengeful or even especially violent, but because he's just too powerful, too impulsive, and too human. The Flash doesn't need to punch through buildings like Omni-Man or laser someone's face off like Homelander. All he needs to do is run a little too fast, and suddenly your grandparents never met, your country doesn't exist, and you were born as a sandwich. This video isn't about speed. It's about the consequences of power that moves too fast for morality to catch up. Let's start with the basics. The Flash isn't just fast. He's quantum mechanics breaking. I'll outrun death itself fast. He's so fast he can move faster than light, vibrate through solid matter, phase through people's skulls, heal instantaneously, and even punch with something called infinite mass, which is basically like getting hit by a tiny god traveling at Mach 9000. He can create lightning, reverse explosions, and even steal other people's speed. That's not a power, that's a problem. At a certain point, speed stops being a skill and becomes pure narrative chaos. And here's the kicker. He barely even understands his own limits. He discovers new abilities by accident, like he's unlocking cheat codes in real time. One minute he's running from a villain, and the next minute he's time traveling, falling into the Speed Force and triggering a multi-universal war by sneezing too hard. Giving a guy like that this level of power is like giving a toddler a tactical nuke and saying, okay, just don't press the shiny red button. He's one emotional breakdown away from turning the solar system into pudding. And if you think I'm exaggerating, let me introduce you to the biggest oops moment in superhero history, Flashpoint. Barry Allen, our lovable goofball, decides he's had enough of being sad about his mom's death. Fair, that's rough. So what does he do? Go to therapy, journaling, yoga? No. He runs back in time and stops her from dying, and Barry Allen does held after in the same. Which sounds noble, until you realize that one tiny act of compassion absolutely obliterates the timeline. Suddenly, Bruce Wayne dies in the alley instead of his parents, so Thomas Wayne becomes Batman with a gun. Superman is captured by the government and raised in a bunker, basically a pale, vitamin D deprived science experiment. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war, sinking continents like it's a board game. Millions die, civilization collapses, and all because Barry had one bad Tuesday and decided he was gonna fix it. This wasn't just a butterfly effect. It was a Category 6 hurricane of unintended consequences. Barry broke the world not out of malice, but because he couldn't handle grief. He weaponized his trauma with the speed of light, and the universe paid the price. Thing about the Flash is that he doesn't just make a mistake and learn from it. No, he makes the same catastrophic error over and over again. Like a speedster version of that guy who keeps texting his ex at 2 a.m. and wonders why his life's in shambles. Barry Allen has a toxic relationship with the timeline. He keeps going back changing things, hoping for better outcomes, and then acting surprised when everything collapses like a bad Jenga tower. He creates time remnants, basically clones of himself, just to defeat villains, which then go rogue and become villains themselves. One of them, Savitar, is literally Barry from the future, who's so jaded he becomes a lightning-wrapped revenge monster. And he doesn't even realize he's fighting himself until halfway through the season. Time doesn't just get bent around Barry, it gets straight up bullied. And the multiverse? Don't even get me started. Barry has triggered so many timeline shifts, alternate realities, and paradox loops that Doctor Strange probably needs therapy just from watching it all happen. He doesn't just manipulate time, he terrorizes it. Here's the saddest part. Barry Allen isn't a villain. He's not trying to destroy worlds. He's just a guy who lost his mom, who wants to help or feels guilty for not being fast enough to save everyone. He's doing his best. And that's exactly why he's so dangerous, because he's flawed, he's emotional, he reacts instead of plans, and he carries the weight of a god while still thinking like a grieving son. The Flash is a tragedy because he doesn't realize the damage he causes until it's already too late. And by then, he's already convinced himself he can fix it by running faster. It's a cycle of good intentions backed by cosmic-level consequences. He keeps trying to outrun pain, loss, regret, but in the process, he turns every step into a potential disaster. It's not that he wants to break the world, he just can't stop trying to fix it. So when you think of the Flash, don't just picture the goofy speedster with lightning on his chest. Picture a man holding a grenade made of time, running full speed through a crowded reality, trying not to drop it. He's not a villain, he's not a tyrant. He's something scarier, a well-meaning person with the power to unmake everything and no real idea of how fragile it all is. The Flash doesn't punch cities into dust. He doesn't command armies or drop nukes. He just runs. And somehow, that might be the most destructive power of all. So, yeah,